Hello! In this lesson I will show you how to put your code to the GitHub. So let's get started. We visit our profile and click on repository and create new. So the first thing what we will store on our GitHub will be portfolio. So let's call repository also a portfolio. Okay. Now we click create. And we have our portfolio repository. So now we can follow our recipe. So we created a repository and now we go to our folder and we push it. So practically we move to our portfolio and say git init. So with this we initialize a Git repository. So what is a Git repository? Git is actually a distributed version control system. What does that mean? When we create code, we save the first version and then we add some certain things and we create another version and then we remove or add some other things and we save another version and another version. And if this was a Word document, whenever we save, the previous version doesn't exist anymore. But thanks to Git, we have a version control system, which means that we can always go and switch to the previous version. So even though we are here on the last saved version, we can always go back to the previous one or back to even more previous one or whichever that was saved throughout the whole time of the project. And next to that, this is one branch. So these are all the files that are saved inside of one branch, but we can also create another branch. So if there are like multiple developers, one developer can develop in this branch and the other one creates his own branch and then basically changes something here and then he can connect it back to this initial branch. So basically multiple developers can develop at the same time separately and then at the end connect things together. And we also have all these versions that are saved and that are safe for us so that we can always go back. Okay, so now what we created, we initialized the empty repository. So now whatever we will change in this portfolio project, it will always be saved, each version, as we showed on this picture. So now we can add our code. So everything that is in this folder we can add with this command git add -a. So we added everything to Git and now we have to save it. So git commit, this basically means save, -m, and we create a message for this commit, for this saved version. And because this is the first one, we will just call it a first commit. So now everything is saved on our computer inside of Git. But now we also have to push it to GitHub. So we created this portfolio repository. So we got a link to it. And now we will use this to connect. So we have our local Git repository and now we will create a remote Git repository and this is going to be on GitHub. So we run this command git remote add origin and link to this repository. Okay, because I added it already before, this says that remote origin already exists, but otherwise it just creates it. Okay, so everything is set and the only thing that is left is for us to push to GitHub. So we say git push origin and master. This is our branch. So when I was telling you about branches, this red branch is a master, and maybe you can have another branch that is called something else. So we now pushed to our master branch. So let's see if project is already pushed. It will take some time because it's bigger, because this is our first commit. Later, when we do some changes, we basically just send to GitHub this little change. Everything else is the same, so it goes a bit faster. Our project is online. We can now click here, refresh, and we can see that our first commit was successfully pushed to GitHub. So now our code is safe, so we have a backup. If our computer breaks or something, we always have the backup on GitHub. And next to that, we also open source the code. That means that anybody who wants to get inspired or learn from us can get to this code and check it and maybe use it for his own inspiration. So we are basically sharing, and the way we can learn from others, others can also learn and be inspired from us. Plus, if we are collaborating on a project together with somebody else, this somebody can also clone the code and then also work on the same code and then push it back. Okay, there is one thing, because we want this code to become a page so that we can have an URL, because now if we show this to our client, they would say, okay, so where is the portfolio? I want to see the page. So GitHub enables us to create a special branch that we call GitHub minus pages. So when we create this kind of branch, we have to go to the settings, and we have to say that our GH branch, GH pages, is going to be our default branch, so that we will be able to see our page online. So let's check if it's already working. So esova-ana.github.io/portfolio. Yes. So the only thing what we needed to do is to add another branch, set it as a default, and then our code is available on this domain, esova-ana.github.io/name of the repository, which is in this case portfolio. So now if you share this link to anybody, they can come and visit your page, they can browse, read about your portfolio. If you have many of them, then they can just scroll down and see many of them. They can read some more stuff about you or some little message and click on the links that you set. So your GitHub, your email, and your Facebook. So perfect. Just a couple of clicks and you have a free web page. Perfect. So let's do the same for our quiz. So remember, we go to our repositories, click new, call this repository a quiz, click create, and now we will follow the recipe again. So we go to the terminal, we have to switch to the quiz. Now we're in portfolio, so we go back, and now we go to portfolio, to quiz. So we are now inside of the quiz. Now again, as you can see what we did before, we again run git init we initialize Git repository. Then we run git add -a, and we add everything in this folder to Git, and now we save it with git commit -m. So we add a message, first commit, okay, and now we have again to copy the link so that we can add the remote branch, remote git. So we say git remote add origin and the link. We also already before added it, so it says that it already exists, but for you it will probably just write that you successfully added your git remote. Okay, so now the only thing that is left is again git push origin master. So let's take a look. If we refresh, we see our quiz is also on. So the only thing that is left is to create another branch, GitHub pages, and to set this branch as a default branch. So GH pages, update, we understand. So let's take a look if also our quiz works. Let's see. So we have a quiz, it's uploaded, and we go to Esova Ana GitHub.io/quiz. Okay, so GitHub needed a couple of seconds, so now we are ready. Okay, the only little detail that is missing, if you remember, we never updated the link from our portfolio. We just added our template link, but now we have to actually connect that when we click here, it transfers us to our quiz app. So let's copy this link and go to the code and switch back to portfolio folder. And inside of portfolio, we will open portfolio in the Atom. Okay, and we go to our quiz component or portfolio component, we called it, and we will add the right link here. So when we open a new tab, we want to open the link to our quiz. So let's save this. And there is one more trick, because we need to update also bundle.js. This is done automatically when we run npm start. So always when we update anything in our app, we have to run npm start. And as you can see, this updates bundle.js. So now we can test if it works. So we go to our portfolio and open index.html. So this is now our portfolio app running locally on our computer. But before we push anything, we have to check if it works. Yes, the link shows to esovaana github.io/quiz. So everything is okay. We can turn off the npm and add the changes. So this is now when we have initial project, we have to do this git init and we have to add the link to the repository, but once everything is already set and we just do the changes, we have to only run those 3 commands. So let's go. So git add -a, git commit with a message, update, maybe we can say replace link to the quiz. So now everything is locally saved. So now I can show you, okay, let's do git push origin master. And later I can show you one little trick. So as I told you, with Git, we save all the versions. So if we want to see now all the versions that we have already saved, we can just say git log, and it gives us all of our commits. So we have first commit, then I was playing a little bit before with the app, so I added a little bit more, but this is how you will be able to see all the commits that you ever did, and then this is the commit number, so you can then always go back to any of the saved versions. Okay, so this is it. We pushed everything to GitHub. We can check how it looks. So if we go here, we have 2 repositories. First one is portfolio, and the second one is quiz. We on both things set GitHub Pages branch as a default branch because we want to use our code as a page, and GitHub enables us this for free. So now the only thing what we can do is to try the link on the live version, if also here is updated. Not yet. So let's see if everything is okay. So our portfolio has only 1 commit. So only commit the first commit. So what we are missing is, let's see, the last commit, which should be replace link to the quiz. So let's try and push it again. Now I see where is the problem. We now don't push to origin master because we set the new branch as the default branch. So we have to push to origin gh minus pages. So let's try this out. So git push origin gh minus pages. Okay, so usually we push to master, but only if we use GitHub Pages we have to be careful and push to GitHub Pages branch. So let's see. Now we refresh this and we also refresh our portfolio, and let's see. We have a new commit, replace link to the quiz from 3 minutes ago. So it works, and we can see if GitHub already managed to update the live version. So let's click yes. Now we have finally the right link. Perfect. So with this we are finishing this part of the tutorial. So you successfully created your portfolio page, so you can display your first app that you built. If you click here, you open the quiz. This is your app, and the users can now come to your link and answer the questions. So you can play around and put some interesting questions in, and then display a chart for them so that they can see how their answers compare to the average of everybody else who also solved this quiz. So I hope you like the tutorial. I would like to invite you to share your apps with us, post it on the Gitter chat, and let's see what you create. Okay, enjoy, and we see you in the next advanced lessons.